Hi there, this is Usha Pandit, your Mindsprings English teacher. Today I've come to you with a lesson that many people have asked me to do, and that is spellings. So 10 superb spelling strategies is what I'm going to give you. It's one of those never seen before 10 strategies. People give you 1 and 2, they don't never give you so many. So stay with me till the end and get your spellings to be better. Why do you need spellings? Because it creates a good impression. You need it because you won't get a job otherwise, because when your spellings are bad, your boss thinks you are high maintenance. He will have to correct every paper you write. So you must get your spellings up and running. So let's start straight away and go into the strategies. The first strategy I have for you is called chunking. Chunking means breaking up words into little bits. Anything that I tell you today is not one of those watertight rules. That means there will always be words that you cannot chunk. Okay? So please remember, all the rules have got what we call exceptions. Means you say, tell me a rule, and then I'll show you 3 things where it doesn't work. So do not treat any of the rules as 100%. Always observe spellings. But chunking is a very good way to spell, because you sound out and you break up the word. So you can have long words, like you can have this word intention, or you can have contraption, or you can have falsification. See, big words. Now they'll frighten you, and if you try to spell it letter by letter as FALSIFICIT, if you do this, it's horrible, because you have to spell so many things. If you chunk it, it's easy. Now these are spellings that sound exactly the way they are spelled, so that's easy. So intention, see, in 10, which is easy, you know 10, and shun. What you need to remember are the word endings of TION. I'm going to talk about it in the next 5 strategies that I do. I'm going to talk about these kind of endings. So stay tuned. Cantankerous. See, big word, cantankerous. Cantankerous means short-tempered. Now cantankerous is a good word to spell with cantanker and us. Us again is your, see, suffix ending like TION. You don't have to remember anything else. So chunking is a great strategy. The second strategy I've got for you is the doubling. One of the big problems with spelling is you don't know when you have to double a letter before you have a suffix, like an ing word. This is mainly for ing, okay? We are not talking about all words, we are talking about ing words. Or you can say ed words. So these are what we call suffixes. So double, where do you double words just before the suffix? That is the question. So where do you double them? Single vowels followed by PNT. Remember this, PNT, like cut, ends with a T, and it's a single vowel, cut, isn't it? Single vowel cut, and you end it with a T, it will double to cutting, CUTTING. Similarly, win, single sound of the vowel E and then N, so winning will double. Similarly, cup, and P. So P and T words, letters that end words with P and T and single vowel, you can double it without worries. However, you will have small exceptions, and what are they? Fixing. Now fix is also X, but fix is an X, isn't it? Does not double. Mix is an X, it does not double. That is why I am telling you to look at P and T. It's a good rule for doubling everything. Single vowel, P and T. Just remember this. The third one is dropping. So 2 vowels together in a suffix. So if you are going to add an ing or an ed or an er or something to this word, to these words that end with a vowel. So, love ends with a vowel because it's ending with an E, isn't it? Save ends with a vowel, it's ending with an E. So, you do not have these two coming together. E and I, two vowels will not come together. You have to drop one of them. So, you drop the first one, L-O-V-E, and it becomes L-O-V-I-N-G. Even if you want to say lover, it will be L-O-V-E-R, or loved, L-O-V-E-D. That E of the love has been dropped. Remember this, saving, saving. Receiving, if it's a big word you want, R-E-C-E-I-V-E, it is ending in an E. When you add an ing, you drop the E. This is a good rule. Most of the time, if you get two vowels together, when you add a suffix, not generally with the word, when you add a suffix, you will drop the E. If your suffix is starting with a vowel. So, that's the rule for dropping. Let's look at noun verb homophones. I have done the video on advise, so you can take a look at that. Now, advise is a typical example of a noun advice, and you get a C there, and advise. You get a advise. It sounds also different, but advise there is with an S. Similarly, you get practice, P-R-A-C-I-T-I-C-E, and for the noun, and S-E for the verb. So, this is one you get with homophones. The CEI rule. So, you must have heard that rule, I after an E except after a C. That is a horrendous rule to remember. Not only do you have to remember it, you have to work it out in your head. I after an E except after a C. Don't do all those kind of, what shall we say, drama around those words. You simply remember what I put in this box. CEI. After a C, if you have to use this E and I or I and E, just remember CEI. If you remember CEI, you know that the rule is IE for other kinds of words. The main guy is the C that we are talking about. What they are saying is when you have a C, what follows after it is EI. It's as simple as that. Okay. So, remember after the C rule, after C you write EI. So, just remember CEI, 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 and you will be fine. You will get words like receive and deceive and perceive and conceive. All of those words will be EI because it's CEI. Remember it like that. Now, the other ones like believe and friend and achieve and all these you will find does not have a C. No C there. You can see the L and the ch and you can see the r. So, that is an IE. That is not EI. CEI is the rule. Just remember CEI and you will be fine. Okay. The exceptions, however, are so many that I am worried to give you this rule. Because height and weight and neighbor, caffeine, vein, all of these are don't have a C, but they have an EI. So, when I give you the CEI rule, what I am finding here is a whole bunch of other letters like H and W, N and F and V seem to have EI following them in these particular words. So, as I said, exceptions prove the rule in English. So, be very, very careful with your spelling, but by and large, these will help you enormously to spell. The next 5, I am going to show you some amazing tricks in spelling. So, hang in there and let's watch them. Let's come to the 6th one, and the 6th one is called the Y rule. So, when do you drop the Y and make it into an I? That is the question. So, Y after a consonant. So, if it's a consonant, what are the consonants? All the letters of the alphabet except A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes a y itself is a vowel, taken as a vowel, but otherwise these 5 vowels. If the y comes after a consonant like a P or an R or an S or a T or something like that, and then you have y, it will change to I. The y stops being a y and you have to put an I. So, I would like you to remember just this word happy. Instead of trying to remember the whole rule, you just remember happy and happier. What is happening in happy? The y is coming after a consonant, and therefore see, you will cross it off and you will put an I, and so the spelling is HAPPIER. Okay. Similarly, angry, it is coming after an R, R is a consonant. So, it becomes ANGRIER, not YER. Okay. So, if the Y at the end of a word comes after a consonant, then we drop the Y and it becomes an I. That is a Y rule. Now, look at this. If you look at employ, that Y is not coming after a consonant, it is coming after a vowel, because O is a vowel. So, therefore, employing, when you have there, you want to put a suffix there, you do not change the Y into an I. Also, if you look at employing, what is happening? It is too many vowel sounds, isn't it? You have got an O and then you have got a Y, which is also a vowel sound, and then you are beginning your suffix also with a vowel sound. OYE is too much. That is why we maintain that ya sound and we do not change it into any other letter of the alphabet. It does not become an I there, because it would have become too many vowels if we had changed it. Similarly, annoying. Okay, so just remember the Y rule. If you remember happy, happier, you will remember the consonant and vowel properly. You will understand it immediately. HAPPY, HAPPIER, you will know what to do. This is, when you write and you are in doubt, this is the best way to check whether the spelling is correct or not. Otherwise, you cannot mug up so many spellings. It is impossible. Okay. The 7th one is the prefix, root, suffix words. Now, remember, in English, the spellings themselves are quite small. What you have to actually remember is that small little root verb. You only have to study its spelling. Sometimes very big words are made up of a large number of prefixes and a large number of suffixes. So, the word becomes so big. So, if you say undemocratically, you say, my God, such a big word. But it is not. They are all suffixes and prefixes joined together and one root in the middle. So, what is the root here? You will be surprised, the root is crusy. Crusy is a rule, right? So, therefore, is no, demo is people, crusy is rule, tick is a small little suffix to say, to make it into an adjective. That tick makes it an adjective. Is again a suffix, and ly makes it an adverb. So, it is full of grammatical suffixes, that is all. So, this undemocratically, which you think is a very big word, actually has just got the kra as a root and everything else is the suffix or a prefix. You know all the words, unkind, untrue, you got all kinds of words, right? So, therefore, is easy, demo is easy, tick, kal, e. So, you got democratic, you got autocratic, you will get a lot of tick words in when you want to make it into an adjective, and then you have everything else following. Similarly, disrespectfully. See what is happening here? Your root word there is pecked. From pecked you get expect, those kind of words. It is a root word which makes many words, and here the pecked, you got ris. Ris is actually like respond. You got a res, which means to give back, that sort of a suffix, prefix it is. So, you got this is a prefix, this is a prefix, pecked is your root word, full is again making it into an adjective, and then you have got li making it into an adverb. See, that is the way the whole word is divided. So, they are not very big words, they are just a whole bunch of prefixes and suffixes which you must look at. You must look at my video on prefixes and suffixes, because that will have some of these prefixes and suffixes that we talk about will be there in that video. Now, let us come to the 8th one, which is able and able. That is another rule. So, when should we put able after a word and when should we put ible? So, the rule of thumb. Now, the reason why English is such a horrendous language is that for every rule there are 100 exceptions. So, you say, what is the point of this rule? It is not applicable everywhere. It is not applicable everywhere. But most of the time you will be able to help yourself if you follow some of these rules. When you write, it is possible for you to think of rules. When you speak, you do not have a second. That is why concentrate on your speech, make it good, but make sure you look at some of these rules when you write. Okay? So, able and able, if you remove the able from the word, this suffix, suppose you put this word able and you remove it, that word that you get will be complete. It will not be half a word, it will be a complete word. Let us look at some examples. Usable, enjoyable, agreeable. See, if I pull out this, if I take out this able, you will get use, enjoy, agree, won't you? Full words. Now, let us come to able. It is not like that with able. Now, if I say sensible, visible, possible, if I take out the able, I will get SENS, VIS and POSS. They are not words. They are some vague half little bit particles as they call it. They are not words, and those are the kind of words that we put able on. So, whenever you are in doubt, the whole word is what you will put with able. Okay? But look at the exceptions. You will have plenty of exceptions. So, you have removable where you do not have that E. So, although I say the whole word for able, here there are able words which have dropped the E. They have followed the double vowel rule, they have dropped the E. So, you do not get a whole word. I am getting REMOV and ADOR, which are not full words. They should have been IBLE, but hey, they are ABLE. That is the complication of English. Similarly, there I have told you that you will get the whole word when you take out able, but here with able, IBLE, I have got whole words, digestible, accessible. If I take out the able, I am getting a full word there. This is the problem. However, as a rule of thumb, it is a good rule to follow. Okay, able and able. Root word meaning. Guys, this is very, very important. The root words are very important. I think I should do a video on root words so that you are able to understand what a root word is. Like we said, pecked where there was a root word. Similarly, you got other root words. Rupt. You take the word rupt. You must have heard of rupture. Something ruptured means that burst. So, this word rupt means burst. Okay, and from that you will get words like disrupt. If you say somebody disrupted the meeting, what does it mean? Somebody came and broke it up. The actual word means burst, but when you say dis and then put rupt, means broken. It was broken up. Somebody came and disturbed it. That is what you mean. So, rupt. Erupt. See, again you got a burst, no? Erupt. What erupts? A volcano erupts. When you disrupt also, it is a negative word. Erupt also is a negative word. Then corruption. Isn't that negative? Straight away. So, where is the rupt? Here it is sitting here, rupt. Cor, rupt, and then shun. Shun is a ordinary kind of a suffix that makes a word into a noun. So, we will talk about grammatical suffixes in a minute, but remember that cor here, co and rupt, this is a double R there, and shun. So, in spelling, it is like mathematics, you can almost sometimes make it into a sum. You can say what is this, you will say C plus doubling of R plus rupt plus shun. You can make it into a sum. So, therefore, you get corruption and you get interrupting or interruption. What is interruption? Again you get rupt. What are you doing when you are interrupting someone? Two people are talking, inter, isn't it? Or two people are doing something, an activity, and you are coming and rupt. What are you doing? You are breaking it up. You are coming in the middle and saying something, interrupting. Do you see how the word rupt is getting used? Rupture, all sorts of words that will come out of rupt. So, rupt is a good word to remember. And what do you need to remember in the spelling? You need to remember rupt, R-U-P-T. You don't have to remember that whole thing, I-N-T-E-R-R-U-P-T. You will go nuts if you do this. What have you got here? You've got this inter. Can you see this inter? What is the meaning of inter? Between, interstate. All those inter words are about between two things, right? So, you've got inter there, which you remember. You know that there is something called inter, like an intermediate. And then you've got rupt, and then you've got ing in ing, which is a grammatical suffix. So, it's very easy to remember interrupting. If you remember it like this, if you remember it with the meanings of the prefixes and the suffixes, it is very, very easy. Okay? So, think of these words, para. Para means one section or one segment. So, if you look at words like parallel, paranormal, paragraph means dividing it into sections, isn't it? All these para words will be about sections, making it into a section. Comparable, two people, you are dividing them into two parts and you are trying to compare. So, you will find para coming in many words. You take sign. Sign is about a personal seal or a mark. That is what the word sign means. So, from this you will get signature, you will get consignment, you will get a whole bunch of sign words again. Many words with sign, insignia. You will get big words, but if you look at it, it is just that sign sitting in the middle. So, you just need to learn para and sign and you will understand the meaning and you will be able to spell that word very easily. That's the beauty of semantics. Semantics means understanding through meaning. Phonetics means understanding through sound. English is not a phonetic language. It has got homophones and homographs and silent letters and two digraphs. If you say PH, it is pronounced as fur. And you will find ocean, you will get a sh there, and you get sugar, you get a sh there also. And the spelling is nowhere near one another. OCEAN, there is no sh in it at all, but you say ocean. So, it is a horrendous language. You cannot learn it through phonetics. You have to learn it through understanding the meaning of these small things. It makes it very easy. Your grammar also will become better. And so, finally, we come to the grammatical endings. Grammatical endings you must learn. If you look at my adjectives video and my nouns video and all, I have given you endings. If you look at my grammar book, Grammar with Ease, you will find a whole bunch of endings sitting for nouns, sitting for adjectives. These are very important for spelling, because if you know the ending, it becomes very easy. Now, look at the grammar endings here. You got an ed, t and ing. Ed and t make it the past tense, ing makes it the continuous tense, doesn't it? So, you have got your tenses sitting there, and then you have got ly, which is normally used with your adverb, ment, which is used with a noun. The minute I put ment, it will make it into a noun. So, predict, predicament will make it a noun. Predict will be a verb, but predicament will make it a noun. So, you've got things like that. IOUS will make it an adjective. If I have an IOUS ending, it becomes an adjective, like devious or pious or conscientious. All of those words will make it into an adjective. TION and SOIN will make it a noun, and FUL will make it an adjective, and LE we have already said, oh sorry, TY, beauty, duty, all of these things will make it a noun. And CY will make it a noun again. Mercy, clemency, all of those words are nouns. So, all these are grammatical endings. learn your grammatical endings, you will understand your noun, adjective, adverb, past tense, those kind of, small bits that are added, and your grammatical endings will make it very useful for your spelling. You don't have to learn ing because you know it's a grammatical ending. Look at this. Before I come to this, let me just take you through word building. So what we do when we do grammatical endings is to do what is called word building. So grammar should never be about dictating 10 words that have no connection with one another. Grammar is a pattern. Use the pattern. So how will I use the pattern with the word act? If I know the word act, A-C-T, I can then say action. What have I done? I have added a I-O-N to it. Action. T-I-O-N actually. I have got rid of the T. I have not duplicated it. A-C and then T-I-O-N. Inaction. Now if I know action, I can say inaction. Then I can say unactionable. Then I can say reaction, or I can say reactionary. Then I can say interact. See, I am just putting suffixes and prefixes for that act, and I am getting really big, large words. So this is something that you should be able to do on your own. If you get a word like that, you just expand it. You start putting grammatical endings, prefixes and suffixes, and you will make really big words that you found so very confusing just a couple of days back. You'll suddenly say, gosh, this is easy. So that's what will happen. Let's look at some other kinds of word endings. A way to study spelling. I'll show you how easy it is. See, you've got this, if you remember this word O-U-G-H, you remember it as O-U-G-H, okay? You know what you can do with it? If you put a T in front of it, it becomes tough. If you put TH in front of it, it becomes though. If you put THR in front of it, it becomes through. If you put THOR in front of it, it becomes thorough. So all those horrible spelling where you were always getting the spelling wrong, if you remember O-U-G-H, then you only have to study T, TH, THR and THOR and you're done. You've got 4 really hard spellings under your belt. Take a look at it. I am just giving you 2 examples. You take a look at it and you put an M, you just put single letters in front of it and you will get a whole bunch of words. You will get might and sight and light and fight and night and bright and fright and God knows how many words. Slight. You will get lots and lots of words. This is called word building. Word building is you can build enormous amount of words by using logic. Because English is unphonetic, because it does not follow logic, if you find logic, like I did for you in these 10 tips that I gave you, you will find your spelling mistakes will be cut down almost 70%. You just need to practice a little bit, and over a period of time, you will be able to see everything very clearly. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Do go to our website www.mindsprings.in and you will find our books that you can buy. Subscribe to the channel because I'll put up several wonderful lessons like this. Press the bell notification, write your comments in the box, and till we meet again, keep practicing that spelling and keep smiling.